What's going on, guys? Your boy Amazing here, back with another video, and in today's video, guys, we are going to be revisiting the original New Year's Festival characters that we've had for the past 4 years now, and we're going to be talking about exactly what they were able to do and what kind of new thing that they brought to the game. So this is going to be more of a, kind of discussion video, guys, talking about the original New Year's characters we had, being, Assault Mode Meliodas, we had Trader Meliodas, Purg Melly, and DK Meliodas in that order, guys. So yeah, if you guys do enjoy videos like this, man, definitely make sure to hit that like button and subscribe, as we are on the road to that 50,000 subscribers. And guys, we recently hit that 48,000 on the channel, and we've been grinding, man, especially with obviously the November Fest and going into New Year's Fest. We've been just having a ton of support on the channel, and I definitely appreciate it. Now with that out of the way, guys, let's hop in and let's talk these special things about the New Year's festivals and how they were able to change the game. Alright, guys, so starting off with Assault Mode Meliodas here, I feel like he was the least prevalent character to be dominant of the list that we got here that we're going to be talking about. But I think Assault Melly was a very hype character at the very least, though. Even though Assault Melly didn't pan out to be, undeniably the best unit in the game, he was still up there as one of the better characters in the game, especially with the Demon team at the time. You would run this character alongside like Red Melascula, you had Blue Droll, and then Assault Mode Melly, man. And yeah, I mean, guys, this character came out in 2020. That was like 4 years ago now, man, almost 5 years ago. And so yeah, I mean, thinking about it like that, I mean, this character's had a lot of time to kind of be in the game, and yeah, over time obviously he's not really fared as well, but yeah, I mean, he's still a great character. And yeah, let's talk about it. So the thing that Assault Melly had that was pretty unique back during his time was the fact that he had a restrictive passive to a certain race or type of character. Now obviously there were characters that were able to provide like a certain amount of basic stats for a type of team, but they weren't restricted to that team only. Whereas Assault Melly, if you run him on any other team that wasn't demons or commandments, guys, this character just would not work. So he pretty much was contingent on having those types of characters on the team. And so yeah, that was kind of the first thing that Assault Melly kind of brought to the table. He also brought a bunch of really nice animations. He obviously came out alongside the one Escanor. He was the November Fest of that year, and then Assault Mode Melly was the New Year's. And yeah, I mean, his ultimate was pretty unique at the time. Basic stat increase on his ultimate up to 50%, and then AoE damage dealt just based on that. He had obviously Amplify single target, which a lot of the Meliodases, and we'll talk about it, a lot of them share this kind of a Amplify skill based kind of kit. And yeah, that was obviously very good. And then also he had a Rupture AoE, which at the time was kind of made to kind of counter the Goddess Elizabeth meta that they had going. But I don't really think that, this Rupture card was as strong as they kind of made it out to be. Just because you weren't able to crit the Goddess Elizabeth shield, it wasn't really as good. But this was definitely still a very strong, skill overall, guys, for his time. So yeah, I mean, and then Assault Mode Melly, kind of recently now, I'd say about a year ago now, did receive his Holy Relic here, guys. And yeah, I mean, his Holy Relic is actually very good. Obviously he didn't have this on his initial release, but he got a very good Holy Relic over time, and this one was able to give him free basic stats. It gave him support for the team with Demon Allies basic stats, and yeah, I mean, if he didn't take damage, he would refresh that basic stat buff, giving him some extra buffs for the Amplify that he had. So that was obviously very good. And yeah, I mean, if this character was to get a LR, guys, he would be probably best unit in the game. He would be like somewhere up there. He would be absurd. This character would not need a lot to be that dominant in the game, but I think Assault Melly was a really cool character for his time. And yeah, I mean, still to this day, very hype character, very cool character. And yeah, that was the first New Year's Festival character we ever got. Alright, guys, so moving on to the next character here for the New Year's Festivals in the retrospective here, guys, we had Holy Warrior Trader Meliodas. Now, in my opinion, guys, this was one of the most hyped New Year's festivals that we ever had in Grand Cross history, just based on the fact alone that this character introduced a brand new attribute to the game. This was the first ever Darkness attribute character in the game, and this was an attribute that pretty much gave you damage dealt increase against any type that you were facing, guys, which at the time, I mean, them introducing something like that was absolutely insane. completely unheard of. We never had a character at that time that was able to do something along those lines, and Trader Melly was the New Year's Fest to the November Fest that was Chad King at the time, and Chad King was super dominant. It's kind of a trend now that we've kind of had in the past years here, guys, where the November Fest has been very, very dominant, and then the New Year's Festival pretty much dethrones that character, and that's exactly what Trader Melly did. He was very, very good against the Chad King shield, as he had a pure skill which pretty much bypassed that entire shield. And then also his single target here, sharing the same skill as Assault Mode Meliodas, he had a amplify skill, increasing the damage dealt per active buff on self, which is obviously very, very good. And then coinciding with his passive here, where this was the first like character, in my opinion, guys, that was able to provide such strong support while being able to be a very strong DPS character. I mean, it says it right here: offense, defense, hybridity, I guess, right? But pretty much, guys, the main thing that was really nice about this character is you get up to 40% damage reduction for using single target skills, which in, you know, PvE was a lot more felt. In PvP, you were able to get a few stacks of it, but by the time you were already at maybe 2 to 3 stacks, the fight was probably already over, right? You really got to feel this in PvE, and it was very strong. And then the hero's stats gaining all stats whenever he did a single target attack skill was very good, and allies could also proc that as well for this character, making him a very, very strong character with getting a bunch of buffs for his amplify and dishing out a ton of damage, guys. This is pretty much what Assault Melly should have been, right? This is what, you know, people expected Assault Melly to be when he released, but we got it with Trader Melly, where, you know, Assault Melly was kind of like, you know, the enemies can kind of attack him, and then he would gain the, you know, the all stats for that, whereas this Trader Meliodas was more of like a character that you needed to do the attacks to actually gain the all stats for that, which is obviously very good. And then Trader Melly also did receive a Holy Relic here, guys, where he actually did get this very, very recently, actually, which is kind of crazy. But this is a very strong Holy Relic in PvE, and they definitely, you know, kind of went to more towards that PvE viability, you know, because this character obviously nowadays, guys, is just not really great in PvP, but this Holy Relic really, you know, increases usage in PvE even nowadays, right? It's still very viable even now to this day in content like, you know, what is it? We like Floor 4 Bird. He's very good for that. You can use him in the Ratatoskr Demonic Beast. You know, he's a very good character for that as well. So, you know, being able to be used in latest endgame content, I think, is viable, man, and absolutely insane. So yeah, again, in this Holy Relic here, you got attack related stats up to 25% whenever they use single target attack skills, and then whenever you use AoE skills, you actually gain a debuff removal from each ally, which is actually very good. You know, having team-wide cleanse in PvE just by using an AoE skill, which Melly had 2 actually. He had his ultimate, which was a very, very strong ultimate, and then obviously his AoE skill here with Pierce. So yeah, guys, I mean, the first character to introduce darkness attribute, very, very cool animations, very cool, you know, effects as well on the kit. Just a all-around really good unit overall too. I mean, I think no one had issues with Trader Melly's release on the time he came out, and I think a lot of people were very, very excited for this character, and definitely in terms of where he panned out to be, he's still really, really, really good to this day. So that is a good sign for what's to come in terms of New Year's Festival characters. So let's move on now, guys, to the next New Year's Festival, and let's talk Purgatory Meliodas. Alrighty, guys, so Purgatory Meliodas was the year after Trader Melly, and this Meliodas, I mean, he's definitely fallen off over time, guys. I mean, I would say Purg Melly is actually a lot worse now than Trader Melly, which is kind of crazy, but that goes to show that Holy Relics can definitely, you know, bring the viability of a character back. And yeah, I mean, you know, Purg Melly still does not have one, so he is still kind of lacking in that. But yeah, I mean, on release, guys, this character was absolutely insane. For context, guys, the November Fest of that year was the one ultimate, so the original, the one ultimate Esmer, the light one. Purgatory Melly released as the New Year's unit after that. And Purgatory Melly, the thing that he introduced that was really insane was the team-wide buff effects, pretty much, and then also the health bar change too. So pretty much the way it worked is that Purg Melly was one of the first characters to give a team-wide buff that pretty much like was lasting on the field. So right here, he had Shackles of Purgatory, right? So he would give the team damage reduction. He would give up to 60% damage reduction, which was absolutely insane. And then for every Shackle of Purgatory that was removed, he would eventually get True Magic when all of them were removed, and then he would actually gain a ton of attack related stats and cleansing debuffs, which was really insane at the time in PvP, right? This character was able to cleanse all the debuffs. He also was able to stop ult rush as well, which was a very insane effect that he had in his passive too. I almost completely forgot about that, but that was another really strong thing that he had in his kit, and it just made him such a strong character in PvP. He really did kind of bring back the whole, you know, Summer Merlin type meta too. I know a lot of people ran that, but the main thing that this character was run on was the standard demon team though, right? You know, this definitely brought into the effect of more of a race meta, you know, kind of, you know, game with Grand Cross, and you know, Purgatory Melly definitely kind of solidified that with the strength of this character, because with the, you know, the one Ultimate Essenor, when he released in November, he was kind of just a universal character, which was good, you know, but the thing is with him being universal is that he never felt strong on a set team, whereas with Purg Melly, he was the demon unit. He was literally the strongest demon unit in the game. And yeah, I mean, it went to show, guys. Like, he was literally, for the entire year till the next New Year's unit, he was the most dominant character we had probably for that entire year, man. He was absolutely insane. You know, just a lot going for him. And yeah, I mean, he also was the first character, I think, of the New Year's units to introduce dual effects for a character. So yeah, as you guys can see here, the single target here, Frenzy, 1% additional damage for every hit of percent of remaining HP on the enemy, and ×2 pierce rate increase. So you'll see here that a lot of the characters post Purg Melly started getting a bunch of dual effects on their kit, which is actually very good, and a lot of these characters now are able to do that, which is pretty insane, the fact that they have even these dual effects. And then yeah, for his AoE, just going to be slash damage, which is actually additional damage equal to half of the hero's pierce rate. So obviously this Melly was able to gain a ton of attack related stats, and with the, you know, the true magic that he got when he did the AoE slash, this did a ton of damage, guys. And Melly had a ton of support at the time too, being like, you know, Esterosa. He had like Blue Chandler for like a taunt variant where you draw damage away. You know, he had a lot of different variants, guys. I mean, this character was like absurd. Literally the entire year that he was available before DK Melly release, he was absolutely insane, guys. So yeah, I mean, you know, right now the character's obviously fallen off because we have obviously DK Melly and he's kind of dethroned this character, but Purg Melly for his time, guys, insane unit. If this character gets a Holy Relic, can honestly give him some viability. I mean, he's still the only character that has this gauge reduction lower, which is still valuable, right? Obviously he would be more structured around the demon team because he doesn't really have another, you know, viable team. But yeah, I mean, they could make him definitely good and kind of solidify that only demon team usage, right? So we'll have to see with that. But yeah, I mean, Purgatory Melly still obviously a very cool character, guys. And now let's move on to the latest New Year's Festival character, which was for going into 2024 with DK Meliodas. Alright, guys, so with the latest New Year's Festival character that we got about a year ago now, DK Meliodas, man, I mean, what's to say about this character, guys? If you've been playing Grand Cross this past year, you'll know how dominant of a character this was, how strong of a character he was. I mean, this character is probably, in my opinion, of any of the New Year's units that released, this was the most strongest one across all content in the game. Like, we're talking PvP viability and PvE viability the entire year. This character was good in both of that. Whereas, like, if we look at the other New Year's units, Assault Melly was more of a PvP character, and he kind of fell off a little bit quicker than, you know, a lot of other characters. Now, you know, Trader Melly, he was more centered around PvE, but he definitely fell off in PvP a little bit, you know, in that time as well, right? Purgatory Melly, though, he was more around PvP, but he stayed relevant till the new Meliodas. The only thing is that in PvE, he just wasn't that crazy. And then, you know, last out here with DK Meliodas, he was the only one that was good in both PvP and PvE and stood the test of time, man. I mean, even to this day, guys, if this Meliodas is on the new New Year's Festival banner, I mean, he's still a really good pickup. I actually would say if you do not get the new Meliodas from, you know, or the new Melly and Elizabeth unit that's going to come with New Year's, and he's on the banner, you actually pull him. I mean, DK Melly covers everything in the game. So even if you pull this character and you don't get the brand New Year's unit, I would still say he's absolutely insane. Now, the thing that DK Melly introduced to the game, guys, was UR rarity base. So he was the first character in the game to have a UR rarity base, and they still, obviously, they started releasing a few of them throughout the year now. We have a few in the game here. I mean, Lancelot was the latest one. You know, Escanor there, Gulthur. We had a few other ones as well here. Just scrolling through my box. I'm trying to, you know, remember remember them off the top of my head. I know we had like Thor, we had Sabnok, right? I think they're probably like higher up here in my box here, but I can't really see them at the moment. But yeah, I mean, you know, DK Melly was the first unit to really bring that into fruition, guys. A brand new rarity, which is kind of crazy. And then another thing on top of that is this character pretty much did what DK Melly or what a Purg Melly did the year prior, but just better, pretty much, in my opinion, because the way he was able to cleanse debuffs from the entire team, he would gain Seeds at the end. And then when you actually, or Dark Energy, right? And then whenever you attack the enemy, you would apply Seeds at the end. And that allowed you to be able to, you know, get your ult creation. And this single target skill right here would just absolutely demolish any enemy that you were facing, PvP or PvE. And even till this day, DK Melly is still run on demon teams. He's still viable. Like, that's the crazy thing, right? It's been a year of this character being a thing in the game, and he's still dominant to this day, guys, which is crazy to think about that, right? I mean, that goes to show how strong these New Year's units can be. And yeah, I mean, you know, with the AoE here, obviously, you know, he had a ton of extra damage as well against Seeds at the end on enemies. You know, damage dealt per every seed at the end, and then times 2 critical chance as well. I mean, that's strong, right? And he had an AoE single target, you know, skill usage here, just like all the other Meliodases, and he really did benefit the most, I would say, out of all the New Year's units, just in terms of him being viable across the entire game, and for the amount of time that he's been viable. Yeah, guys, I mean, DK Melly to this day, absolutely insane unit. We didn't even really cover most of his skills here, but I mean, you guys know, you've seen DK Melly throughout the year, you know how strong he is. His ultimate is just a straight up nuke. His AoE is very, very good with Seeds at the end on enemies. His single target when you get all creation is just absolutely absurd. One banging pretty much anybody you attack with this. Yeah, I mean, what's to say about this character, guys? He has rank up cleanse, defense related stats, attack related stats. Man, this is probably one of the most dominant characters in Grand Cross history right there, guys. Absolutely insane character. So yeah, guys, that has been right there, I guess, kind of the retrospective on the New Year's Festival characters that we've gotten the past 4 years. Now, we are going to be getting a brand new dual Meliodas and Elizabeth Festival coming later this week, guys. They're obviously going to announce a live stream sometime soon, and once they make that live stream announcement, I'll let you guys know about it. And yeah, I'm looking forward to that. You know, maybe it's either going to be on Christmas or maybe on the Thursday of this week. We'll see, but yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to it, guys. So that is pretty much the video right there, guys. Let me know which Meliodas was your favorite in the comment section below of Assault Melly, Trader Melly, Purg Melly, or DK Meliodas. I'm really curious to hear what you guys have to say about these characters, man. I've gotten to experience all 4 of them through, you know, pretty much their top tier metas, and even when they've been good in later, you know, parts of the game, and all of them I think were really, really fun and very cool. So yeah, guys, let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. That's gonna be it for the video. I hope you guys did enjoy, and we'll see you guys on the next one, man. Peace out. Have a great rest of your day, guys. See you later, man.